long way. Long way. Get this shit a long way. Long way. Long way. Hit the long way. 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 Shit. Long way. 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 Get shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way. Get the shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be trippin' every day, she be trippin' every way. But I gotta get the shit a long way. Tryna get money every single way. Tryna get money every single day. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slave. No, we gotta finish rich. No, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand. She don't understand. She's gotta get rich. She don't understand. Sometimes we gotta hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree, yeah. Told you the other day that did my palm strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a palm way. When I ain't Atari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done talking. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, I said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. So we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the palm way, yeah. Man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get this shit the long way, 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 yeah, we get this shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
What is up, everybody? What is up? What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, LJ Young. What's up, King? QJC, Nick Penn, Reigning Woman. Shout out to Nick Penn, SMD family member, for helping me get my communication skills right to let everybody know when I'm going live and get me up to par, because yeah, I need a person like that in the background for me so I can do things right, because I just want to do what I do but I got to do it right. So I need some guidance. I need somebody in the younger generation to help me navigate through this new world of social media. But anyway, welcome. I'm the founder of SMD, like I said, and I am here to simply share my gift. And my gift is that I understand that capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. And this is a mathematical fact. It's not my theory. It's not my opinion. It's not my hypothesis. It's mathematical fact. And if math says it's true, it is true. All right, period. But anyway, so what I do is with this knowledge, I also understand that currency in any form doesn't exist for people in debt at all, in any gold, silver, paper money, the peso, in any money in any country that is capitalist. Money doesn't exist, because the currency are the people within it, the debt slaves. People who's debt slaves? People that believe they can own things with no money of their own. That's a debt slave. People that believe you can buy a house with a mortgage. People that believe you can buy a car with a car loan. You can own a phone by financing it, that kind of stuff. But anyway, but what I do, I help my clients come to the positive side of the economy. There's positive and negative. Debt slaves live on the negative side. and there's people that live on the positive. I live on the positive side, so I help people come to the positive side to where you can have real currency. You can reduce, you can take advantage of taxes. Taxes help you build wealth if you're on the positive side. If you're on the negative side, taxes take away wealth because you are the taxes. But when you come to the positive side, you can benefit from taxes. Like here's another example. If you have a mortgage, right? You can't save for retirement because you're in debt. You have no money. You, according to the laws of mathematics, you cannot put money into retirement when you have no money because you have a mortgage. So you can't do that. Same thing if you have a car loan. You can't put money into a you can't put money into retirement if you have a car loan. You can't put it in cryptocurrency. You can't do any of that, right? So when you come to the positive side, you can save money. You can reduce your tax bracket. You can avoid legally avoid taxes. It's legal. Tax avoidance is legal. Tax evasion is illegal. See the difference? But people in debt cannot avoid or reduce, save for retirement. They can't do anything, right? So today I'm going to do a review over Caleb Hammer's video. Now he is a young man. Now remember, I want everybody to understand this review is not to talk bad about Caleb. I actually like what he does, and I like his style. I like the way he does it. It's just a different way of doing what I do, but he's doing it Caleb's way, right? But I am going to give you the overview. I'm gonna review his video so you guys can understand so you can see it from a different perspective. I'm trying to put this in words because it's really hard to put it in words. I'm going to show you, I'm going to review it over capitalism being psychological, positive, and negative. Okay. That's how I'm going to review it. So you guys can understand. So when I watch Caleb's videos, he is more, you could tell he understands that personal debt is bad, right? He can clearly, I highly doubt if he has any personal debt. I highly doubt it just by the way he speaks. And he's also, I'm sure he interviews a lot of people before he picks the best type of debt slave. I'm sure he goes through about 10, 20 people and pick the worst one, right? Because you got to remember, debt slaves, they don't know that they're in debt. They don't know that they own nothing. They don't know that currency doesn't exist for them in any form. And so being on the positive side of the economy, it's a different language. Debt slaves have been in debt all their lives, so they have no idea the language of debt free even exists. They think you have to be rich to have no debt, which is wrong. All you got to do is get to zero. According to math, if you don't want to be in debt, you just get to zero. You pay off all your debt, you're no longer in debt. And so to participate in the economy of the United States of America, on the positive side of the economy, you must own yourself first. You must own the business of yourself first before you can participate on the positive side of the economy. You can't, there is no other way to get here. You have to go through zero, just like what they all taught us this in elementary school. There's a number graph, zeros in the middle, red numbers on the left with a negative in front of those are negative numbers. Green numbers on the right of zero are positive numbers. They taught us all this. Zeros in the middle. In order for you to get to either side, you must go through zero first. All of this was taught in elementary school. This is just basic arithmetic, right? The psychological part is this in the psychological capitalism. Debt slaves don't know that they're debt slaves. They don't know you can't own a house with a mortgage. They don't know that. They don't know they are the currency. It's them, period. All right. So when I go through this video, I like to do it. I'm trying this way so you guys can get my immediate reaction of watching the video as it plays. I'm just trying to get a style down on how I'm gonna do this stuff. But I want you guys to get my initial reaction to it all, which is what I really want. But I'm gonna show you in a way to where I'm gonna point out the things that debt slaves don't know. I'm gonna point out the things that Caleb, the type of questions that Caleb asked the debt slave to lead them into. It's almost like he's just setting them up because he already knows the answer. He's got all their finances. He knows everything they're going to do and say. He has everything. Sort of like the banks, right? The banks already know when you walk in and ask for a loan, the first thing they're going to do is run your credit report. That'll tell them if you understand or not. Your credit report, what debt slaves don't know is your credit report is really an owner's ledger. Okay. It's nothing more than that. Credit reports keep track of all the businesses that own you. That's it. And if you borrow money from the business and you pay them back on time, they reward you for being in debt with a good credit score. If you don't pay back their money or the money on time, they reward you with a negative credit score to let you know you're bad. Credit scores are just indicators if you pay back their money on time or not. That's it. It's nothing more than that, right? So what you guys need to understand is this. A credit report proves if you own yourself or not. Like if you go through my video catalog, you will see that I'm the only person that goes live showing my entire credit report to the world anytime they want to see it. Why do I do that? So it shows you that I own myself. I'm not just up here just talking shit and just making up stuff like that. All right. All right. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to start this video and we're going to get into it. All right, here we go. Let's add this to the stream. Oh, do I shrink that so you can see me? Okay, here we go. All right, you guys ready? All right, let's go. Oops, wrong play button. Okay, just a second. Can't push play there.
I'm Johnny. I'm from Gerald, Texas, 27 years old, and this is Financial Audit.
Okay, first off, I want you guys to understand this. Between the ages of 18 and about, I'm going to say 18 and 35, 40 is the prime demographic for creating fresh, new, young debt slaves. Okay, because young people are clueless about finances. They really don't know. They just come out and see social media and they think, oh, that's how you do it to get rich, right? But what you guys don't know is social media is more to trap debt slaves, right? Debt slaves sharing other information on how to get rich, how to improve your credit score and all that kind of stuff, right? Debt slaves don't know which way to go. They don't know who to trust. But they also don't know that all they got to do is look at their credit report. If you want to own yourself, you want to know the price to own yourself, all you got to do is look on your credit report. It shows how much it's going to cost to own the business of yourself to participate in the United States of America's economy. All right. All right, here we go.
27 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. Normally, I just break into this like we normally do, but I want to say, I want to especially thank you for coming on here because I think this is going to be potentially one of, if not the craziest situations we've ever seen.
Okay.
Okay, so what Caleb just said to him, he doesn't even know. He got a smile on his face. He basically said, I picked you because you are one of the worst cases I have ever seen. The debt slave doesn't know. He just embarrassed him on camera. Just did. And this guy doesn't even know. He's like, babe, you are one of the worst cases that I've ever, to pump up the audience. And now the people that click on this video is going to be like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
So I just want to let you know, I appreciate you coming on here because this situation, a lot of Americans can probably relate to it. And so for those who are watching, you are actively helping them by you being here.
Awesome.
Okay, let me translate that for you, okay? Hey man, you are actively representing the majority of people in America who are in debt, and you're gonna shoot my views through the roof with this video. Because I'm about to tell the world how bad you are with finances, and the majority of the people watching this video are just like you. That's why it's going to shoot through the roof.
Awesome. So thank you for that. What do you do?
See how he's laughing? Now you got to remember, debt slaves are laughing nervously because they don't know what's about to happen, so they have that nervous laugh. If you watch a lot of Caleb's videos, a lot of people do a lot of laughing, but they don't really think it's funny. They're just nervous because they have no idea what's about to happen. But Caleb's leading right into it without them even knowing it.
For a living.
I work in natural gas.
Natural gas. Okay.
Yeah.
Like what do you do?
So we fix like gas leaks and replace
Oh,
gas
very
services
cool.
and stuff like that.
And you are married.
Yes.
What is the annual household income?
About 120K.
Okay.
All right, so you guys understand this. I noticed Caleb, he likes to pick out people that are in six-figure range. This way, because you got to remember, there's like, I think like 5% of the people in US actually make six figures. So that's the majority of people watching this video do not make six figures. So they're like, oh my God, people that don't make six figures, the first thing they think, if I made that much money, I would never be in debt. I could pay off all my debt. Well, you say that because you never made six figures, but what debt slaves really don't understand is that it doesn't matter how much a debt slave makes, okay? But since there's such few people that actually make six figures, this draws in a bigger audience for you guys to kind of think this is a different or an exception, or hell, maybe even you think that six figures is a lot of money. So
it's always the people with a good income, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
you see what I'm saying? Before he even says it, I'm telling you guys what Caleb's saying. It's always the people with a good income. Wow, Caleb, you picked them. Ain't that a coincidence? That's how it works. That's just business. There's nothing wrong with Caleb. I'm not saying what Caleb's doing is wrong. I'm just showing you guys what you can't see when you don't understand that capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative.
More money, more problems.
Yeah, more money, apparently more not having any money.
Yeah.
Geez, so what hits your guys' account on a monthly basis?
We have the car payment.
No. I mean, like, what money comes in?
Oh, so we have just mine, her income.
I'm trying to think, like, what's your post-tax and all that stuff? What does it come out to?
So
Caleb is asking him a question that he knows he doesn't know. People in debt do not know about taxes. They don't know that what's supposed to come out. How much is post-tax? When you're in debt, when you don't know how much debt you're in, you're not going to know about taxes. I promise you that.
I'm guessing
a month. I think it's about 7,000.
Okay, that makes sense. And like health insurance is taken out before. Are you guys
Right.
contributing to your 401ks?
No, she just got offered 401k today, actually. So
Okay, and you are not.
No, I don't have any benefit.
Debt slaves who are in debt cannot save money for retirement. That's why Caleb's asking these questions. He knows they have no money in there because they're in debt. It's to make them say it out loud so they can hear it, I guess. I'm not sure about that, but debt slaves cannot save for retirement because they're in debt. Fair use. This is fair use for sure. Thank you.
So you think it's about a seven? I'm guessing like 7,500. Do you think it's 7,000?
Yeah, closer to 7,000.
Closer to 7,000.
Yeah.
We'll do 7,000 then, because you would know. So $7,000 hits your account on a monthly basis. Cool. Most people would say, cool. That's great, especially living in a rural town. Cool.
Yeah.
$7,000. We can do a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, just a reminder, click that subscribe button. We're trying to get far. Okay. I mean, we're just starting with the first account, right?
Yep.
And I am going to dig into, because I need to make sure you and everyone else out there knows how absolutely dire your situation is.
The majority, what Caleb's about to read off, the majority of the people that watch this video, you are in this situation. All these payments he's about to read off, all this stuff, that's you. That's why you guys can relate to this video, because it's this guy, the guy that Caleb is entering, represents all the people in debt, okay?
Because if we go to a place where we're like, okay, we know it's not good, but it's not bad either.
Right.
It's like, then you're not going to do what's necessary to actually get out of it. But here we start with negative $222 in your checking account. We start with that.
He makes $120,000 a year gross. Okay, that's before taxes are taken out. Gross. And he has negative $222 in his account. That's not really surprising because he's in debt.
And not only that, $8,449 comes in. That's great. Some of it was in savings and different stuff. That's a great amount of money. That's fantastic. We ended with $433. What is happening off the bat? What is up with your financial situation? What's going on? Give us anything.
Caleb's good though, man. You see all the dramatics? He goes up high in octave. That's good. Good job, Caleb. Good job.
I think it's mostly just eating out is where most of our money goes.
You're
to.
not eating out $8,000 a month.
Between when we were paying for two rents for about 3 months. We moved out of one apartment into our house because we were in a studio. So we were paying about $1,200 a month on the studio. And then
Now you see how debt slaves do? Oh yeah, we were renting 2 places like they have the money. Remember, debt slaves have absolutely nothing. They own nothing. And he's renting out 2 places on $120,000 gross. I think they're in Texas, I believe. And he's saying it like it's nothing.
moved into the house, and that's about $1,750.
During the time of these statements?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And we just paid the last bill on the apartment.
Did you buy the house or are you renting it?
Renting.
Okay. So you're saying you eat out $5,000 a month?
Yeah.
Look at him. Did you see it? He just answered yes like it's nothing. Yeah. $5,000 a month you're eating out. Yeah. See what debt slaves do? They have no clue of what they're talking about. Not at all. And they think it's nothing.
Among other things.
You must be going crazy. Where are you going to, like, the nicest steakhouses twice a day?
No, I think we
Children?
both. Yes, one child, 6 months.
Okay, well, that adds money.
Yeah.
That adds money. I wouldn't say $5,000 of eating out.
No.
But no, it's not just that. And by the way, $204 was yanked from your existence in fees because you're overdrafting and crap.
Yeah.
Dude.
Let me explain something to you guys on overdraft fees, okay? Overdraft fees are for debt slaves. That's why the banks are taking advantage of you. They charge you. They already know, like, when a bank looks at your credit report and your bank account, remember, they hold all your information. Anything a debt slave wants to purchase, they have to first get permission from the bank. So the bank knows all their information, everything. So they're charging you. They know you're going to go over every single month. So they're charging you for doing it. They're charging you for not knowing how much money you have in your account. So they're making you pay for it. They have debt slaves. Debt slaves now rely on overdraft protection. You got to stop and ask yourself, what is overdraft protection protecting a debt slave from? Themselves.
It makes no sense. Okay. I have to ask because we need to get into your mindset. If we have Adobe, we have a Peacock subscription, some security service that you did, McDonald's, the $200 was taken out for autosave safety, and we're going to Hobby Lobby and Whataburger and Starbucks and some tortilla place and Olive Garden and Dutch Bros and Wendy's, and going to McDonald's and Major Burger and Netflix and
when you come to the positive side of the economy, you create a business. Now, you see what Caleb's listing? You make sure your business gets on that list. To where debt slaves subscribe to whatever you're selling, you make them subscribe to it and you become on that list. All those businesses that he's naming off they're making money. They're successful. I help the people come to the positive side of the economy. The economy, listen, it doesn't matter AI, how many robots they build, how many machines make hamburgers and fries. It doesn't matter. There has to be people in the economy for it to work. Only human beings consume unnecessarily. We do. The economy could not exist without people. You just got to be on the positive side of the economy, not the negative side. The negative side is debt slaves, okay?
door dashing things. We don't even have money for door dashing things. And Wingstop and Dutch Bros and Zosie's Cajun Cafe, Amazon Prime, Raising Cane's, Dutch Bros, a Hulu subscription, Longhorn Steak, Whataburger, Dutch Bros, card payments, security service fees, again, twice in 1 month. I don't even know what that is. Getting our car washed, because that's a necessary expense to survive. Dutch Bros, Panda Express, Whataburger, Firehouse Subs, Domino's, Credit One.
That is absolutely bananas to hear this list. You hear how long that list? You think that's uncommon? Debt slaves do that every day. I want the S&D family members to understand. I want the people to understand that want to come to the positive side of the economy and make some real money. Do you see how much money can be made? Do you see the list that Caleb is running off right now? That could be your business. You could be one of those businesses making that much money from debt slave that have no idea what they're doing.
The auto security safety bullshit again. Some going out to eat pizza, going out to eat, dude. And then Prime Video, we have that. We're Venmoing out money, $575.
Do Caleb think he's gonna be more animated than me? I got something coming for you, Caleb. You ain't gonna be better than me, baby. I promise you.
Who knows where the that went? Discovery Plus, more Adobe because the one Adobe we had wasn't enough.
The $575 is actually rent. So we break it up into 3 payments.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry.
Great. I was like $575, great.
Yeah, you were going off, so I didn't want to interrupt you, but yeah, the $575 is rent. The $200 autosave, that's just something it pulls from our checking into our Chase savings.
Yeah, when you're like over.
No. Yeah. So just
well, that explains all the money that you're depositing from your savings into here because we don't have money.
Yeah.
And HBO Max subscriptions that we have in Whataburger and Venmo and Dutch Bros and Spotify and Mojo Coffee, YouTube something. Looks like you rented a video, perhaps.
Yeah.
All
Mexican Grill.
right, we're gonna get past this.
Any potential logic behind your couple's relationship, this marriage. Why are you guys going to these restaurants? This isn't where you spend all your money. This is a thick stack.
Yeah.
But that's the checking account. And every page is just green slices of crap.
All right, let's go.
I couldn't tell you.
Is it both of you? Is it one of you more?
No, it's both of us.
Okay.
It's definitely both of us.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Total overdraft fees year to date, and we're a quarter of the way through this year.
How much?
$748.
Oh, my. Okay, listen. Do you see how much money can be made if you come to the positive side of the economy? This is just him. And we're in what, April? The end of April, and he has almost $1,000 in overdraft fees. That's free money, absolutely, for doing nothing. All from debt slaves not watching. But again, you got to remember, debt slaves do not understand they have no money. The bank, listen, when you come to the positive side of the economy, you could see everything for what it is. Every mortgaged house you see with your eyes, that's bank owned. Okay? Every person that's making car payments, those cars are owned by the bank. It doesn't matter who's driving it. The person, put it this way, the person you see inside of a mortgage house, that person is the equity inside of the mortgaged house. The person you see inside driving the finance car, they are the equity. They are the interest inside the car. It's not the car. The banks use the house. The banks use the car to purchase debt slaves. Debt slaves are purchased with mortgages. Mortgages by people, not houses. Car loans by people, not cars.
We can do a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, just a reminder,
Whoops,
click that.
Sorry about that.
These restaurants, this isn't anything in there right now?
Yes.
How much?
Last time I checked, about $4,500.
Why? Why are you overdrafted if you have?
Wait, hold on.
And then
hold
it's
on.
just the same thing over and over.
Why doesn't it?
I couldn't tell you.
Is it both of you? Is it one of you more?
No, it's both of us.
Okay.
It's definitely both of us. Yeah.
Total overdraft fees year $700. That's insane. Just this period, $204. The savings that you transfer to, is there anything in there right now?
Yes.
How much?
Last time I checked, about $4,500.
Why? Why are you over?
Okay, I want you guys to understand something, okay? And if this is you, all right? If you believe you have savings in your savings account while having, let's say you have a car loan, okay? And you believe you have, because this guy right here, he really believes that he has $4,500 in his savings account. If this is you, I want you to open up your calculator. Pretend it's you that you believe you have savings in your savings account. Open up your calculator, put in the money that you have in your savings account minus your car loan balance and hit equal. The calculator says you don't have any money anywhere. Savings account, under your bed, hidden from your spouse. You don't have money anywhere because you have a car loan balance. Okay. So you don't. If you're paying listen, if you're paying overdraft fees, you don't have money in a savings account. That's why you're paying overdraft fees.
Overdraft if you have $4,500 in a savings.
God damn.
Because she doesn't want to spend the savings money.
That doesn't make sense. You've lost $750 this year.
She doesn't want to spend the savings money. Oh man, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Wife, if you are watching this, please understand that makes no mathematical sense. $750 you've lost because you're not willing to transfer $4,500. I'm not angry at you. I'm angry at the debt.
No, I know.
But I want.
He's angry at the debt, but he's embarrassing you, debt slave, on TV, on video. And this guy, what's so crazy? This is horrible, but this guy has no idea. This video is forever. It's forever.
Because immediately you don't have retirement.
No.
How old is she?
We're same age, 27.
How old's your kid?
6 months.
Okay. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
27.
Yeah.
No retirement. Stacked in debt.
Debt slaves, let me tell you something, okay? Caleb already knows that you have no money in retirement. That's why you're on the show. People in debt do not have money in retirement because they can't. You have no money to contribute. Retirement is, only people in debt believe retirement is an age. It's not an age. You could retire anytime you want. You just have to come up with a business plan to do it. You don't have to wait till age 65. You can enjoy retirement at a young age. You don't have to if you even live to 65. It's like, oh, retirement age has been bumped up. If you don't live to 65 or 66, you just wasted everything.
Stacked in debt.
Yeah.
Riddled in debt. And no retirement. Everything else in here is literally just cards and crap, credit cards and debts.
Yes.
Nothing that's ever paid off, by the way.
No. And then we do get it paid off, and then we just go and spend them again.
Okay. Well, first off, before we even get into them, let's just say you are not credit card people. You are not.
No.
That's fine. That's fine. It's okay not to be a credit card person. Chop them up. It doesn't matter. Whatever benefits someone might get from
a debt slave will never chop up a credit card, ever. You got to remember that. They have no money. They think they need it. They think they can't live without a credit card. So that will never happen. Okay.
credit card you are not getting. You are losing so much money. So much money, yeah?
Yeah.
Caleb's funny, man. I like him, though. You are losing so much money.
So this situation is scary. You need to chop those things up. Use like the Fizz card that I talk about.
There you go. Look at him. You see that? Hey, listen. Learn from Caleb. He's plugging promotions. You see that? Use the Fizz card. If they don't know how to use the current card they have, they're not going to know how to use a Fizz card or whatever that is. Okay, I get it. Congratulations, Caleb.
Because it can help your credit, kind of like a credit card, but it's a debit card, and it helps spend within certain categories that you want. It helps you manage your spending a little better. But for example,
Fizz, how much you paying Caleb? Because this is the second time I've seen him throw that in there. Okay, Fizz, how much you paying him? Congratulations, Caleb.
On this card itself, 625 previous balance. We made a payment of 160. Okay, cool. We're bringing in $7,000 a month. It should be more than that, but okay, we did that. But then we purchased $130. $130 was purchased.
Yeah.
Are you guys trying to get out of debt? Is that
Does it look like they're trying to get out of debt, Caleb? Of course not. Debt slaves, let me make sure you guys are fully aware of this. The economy could not exist without you. You are the engine to the economy, financing things that go down in value at an interest rate based on your gross income. Okay. When you do that, that means you're there forever. Let me give an example. Say like you have a job and you're at work and you got a raise. Soon as you get a raise, you go out and finance a new car so everybody know that you make more money, whatever you guys do to share amongst each other, right? When you roll up to your job with a new car, guess what you just told your employer? That you're not leaving. That you're not leaving at least for a minimum of 84 months. Minimum 84 months. You're not leaving. You just told your job that. You're not going anywhere. So if you don't like your boss or you don't like your manager, guess what? You can't do anything about it because you trapped yourself with a car, with a finance car.
We always like we had them all paid off for a few months, and then whenever my son was born, she was off for like 3 weeks, and then I was off for a week, and I wasn't making that much money to begin with at the time.
And she's paid hourly. She's not like salary.
Yeah, we're both paid hourly. Yeah, she was getting maternity leave, like, but she was like only getting 75% of her pay.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and
so
then,
you only lost 25%.
Yeah, but I was only making at the time, whether it be gas or eating out or going shopping or whatever.
Now these cards that you have.
Some things I'm gonna fast forward through because I don't really want to be on here that long talking about this, but I'm gonna fast forward some stuff. But if you want to watch the whole thing, there's the links in the description.
Are cards,
right? Yeah, because we both have terrible credit, so they were the only ones that we could get approved for.
And what are we doing on here? We're Dutch Brosing, and we're McDonald'sing, and Chick-fil-A. Really, we're a little upset at you. That's stupid.
Yeah.
That is stupid. If we're over our credit card balance, we're not making any progress and we're spending on it.
Yeah.
That's objectively stupid. And guess what? Total fees charged in 2020.
That's so, you know what's so crazy? And if this is you, if you're watching this video and you're in just as much debt as this guy that Caleb's interviewing, this is how you guys are abused. And you guys don't even know that you're being abused. You financially abused. You're embarrassed. And you don't even know why, because you think it's normal to be in that much debt. You think you have to be rich to not be in that much debt, when that is not true. So what happens, you get on a show that you don't understand the language, and then you're embarrassed. And it's forever. Once this video makes it to the internet, that's forever embarrassed.
23 because you're overspending. These have like monthly fees just to be a member of the card. So not even if you have balances, these terrible cards have fees on a monthly basis with no benefits. So total fees, again, we're only a quarter in of 2023, $78 on one card lost in total interest of $70.
Yeah.
Lost. And then we're with the same company here, but we have a different card. Previous balance $789 on an $800 credit limit. Paying $94.
If you have a credit card that has an $800 limit, you're in financial trouble. Okay? If you have a credit card with a $500 limit, you are a debt slave. Only debt slaves, because if you got a $500 limit, you probably got a very, very high interest rate because you're a debt slave. That's why it's $500. That's why it's $1,000. Okay.
Okay, we're making progress, but then we put on it $86.34 with interest charge of $25.65, and congratulations, fees again of $12, meaning they are. So again, the mentality, whatever it was.
You see how the credit card companies and the banks, they're money out of thin air. Debt slaves believe credit is money. Credit is not money. Credit is credit. The only business, private entity that can print money is the Federal Reserve in the United States. They are the only people with money here. There is no other money. Everything else is psychological money.
Like, it's applying to this. But it's like we don't have money, but we kind of do.
Yeah.
What?
Pretty much all of them.
Oh, and like it's either gas or groceries, but it's in the end. But this is the painful part where we go through the pain.
But it already hurts.
We'll get through the good part.
Yeah.
It should, and you need to know how much it hurts, and people who are going down the people's lives. But again, fees charged $71, and again, that's credit one now. Oh my. No, it is. Credit limit $300, but your previous balance was $557. No, you didn't pay on. You didn't spend money with this card Because there was no money to spend. Your balance is just completely gone. You made $30 payment, so that's like the minimum monthly payment. The fees, $548. So really, no progress was made.
Yeah.
$40. Another card, shall we?
Yeah.
Used to spend money.
Man, he can go on
18 bucks
forever.
on there
I'm
that
gonna
we
go
can
past this.
spend.
I don't really want
30 within the last month, and $8.83 of interest charge. So you had $4 on there, which gave you an excuse to go purchase. You purchased
Oh, let me go back.
$300. In Fabletics, do we need to be going to Fabletics? Fabletics, do we need to be going to Fabletics again? In $29 of additional card fee, monthly servicing fee of $625.
Man, when I listen to this, it really helps me understand how much money businesses and the banks are making. Now, I want everybody to understand with capitalism is psychological, positive and negative. The banks control everything. Nothing happens without the bank's permission first from debt slaves. They can't buy anything. All right. So you have to, once you come to the positive side of the economy, you learn how to work with the banks because nothing happens without the banks.
Annual fee of $48.
Debt slaves must ask the bank for permission to purchase anything.
$8, my goodness. I should go into the predatory credit card business because these people just make money off of you.
Yeah.
It's insane. And then interest on purchases, $883. Total fees charged 2023, $96. Total interest charge.
Let's go to the card debt.
Thing and some other things as well. So what's up? What's that? I don't have the statements for those.
So I had a truck back in 2017, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I was making payments on, it was before I met my wife and everything, and making payments on it. I didn't have insurance on it. I wasn't paying that. God. And then I flipped it, totaled it.
Oh my God.
And
oh my God. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse. He got a truck that he's making payments on. You got to remember, if you finance the vehicle, that means you didn't have the money to buy the vehicle. And then he flips it and don't have no insurance.
So they, yeah. So they basically in collections now.
In collections.
Yeah. And so I'm paying $50 a week.
So you have a payment plan with them?
Yeah. And so that's the
security interest?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
And what's the balance remaining?
What is that?
It should be around 3,000-ish now.
What about you?
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. See, Caleb is really good at picking. Now you gotta remember, Caleb knows everything. He sees everything. He's acting as if he doesn't know. Okay, that's part of the show. He's acting like no different than a reality show. You know, like when the reality shows they walk into a restaurant, the host is coming in, and the person inside the restaurant turns around and says, "Hey, so and so, we didn't know you was coming." Yes, you did. The cameras were already in the restaurant. What are you talking about? You didn't know.
What's your current car?
So that's I think we owe around 30,000 left on that. The interest rate's pretty high. I think it's 10-11%.
Holy moly. Oh my God, it just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. You know what? I would love to see Caleb's interview process. Because you guys got to remember, he probably goes through 10, 20 people before he picks the right debt slave. This guy, I'm agree with him. This guy is, oh man.
Maybe more. Could be more.
He said it could be more. Of course it could be more. And it's going to be more. The way you're on the track.
It's right high.
Yeah.
What's the minimum monthly payment for that?
$680.
Holy moly. God.
Is that just one? Is there another car?
No. I drive her old car. That's paid off.
Good.
Yeah.
What is that car?
The one we're paying on, a 2020 Chevy Equinox. Yeah.
We might be selling that. I'm not sure yet.
No, he's not, Caleb. He is upside down in that 2020 equinox or whatever that is. He's upside down. So for those of you that don't know what upside down means, debt slaves, that means you owe more on the car than what it's worth. Like here, let me give you an example, okay? This is how you guys are financially abused when you go finance a car, which you can't see. First, they calculate your payment based on your gross income. That's money before taxes. Some of you guys let them base your monthly payment on gross income along with overtime. That traps you at a job. Since you don't have the money to buy the car, that's why you're financing it. And if you don't have the money to buy the car, guess what else you don't have the money for? The taxes associated with the purchase of the car. So not only are you financing the total price of the car with everything else that the dealership throws in there, you're financing the taxes too. Yes, debt slaves, you guys finance taxes. And then they put an interest rate on top of that. And then some of you guys, listen, it's not even done yet. Some of you guys rolled negative equity from a trade-in. So you roll negative equity in, which balloons the price up, which based on your gross income and overtime sometimes, and finance taxes with an interest rate. You guys are never getting out of those cars, ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we might have to see how far in the hole you are. Any other debts?
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay, so that's all. You only have that much.
Yeah.
We only have.
Look at the way Caleb just ran his ass through the ringer and then goes, oh, well, that's all. That's all you have.
Only.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 credit cards that are either maxed out or well over maxed out, plus a truck that doesn't even exist that you're paying on, and a ridiculous car with a ridiculously high interest rate.
Yep.
So your minimum monthly payments on your debts are over $1,000. And this is for nothing that's even benefiting you except for one of the cars.
Right.
Everything else is just money you've spent, and whatever you spent it on is gone. Fees and interest, not including either of your cars, by the way. This is just on the credit cards. Fees and interest, first quarter this year, $632.41 has been ripped from your existence. Thoughts? Yeah. Yeah.
See? You know what? I hate to see that when you guys get abused, not only in the financial world, when you get abused on camera too, it's like, I feel sorry for you because you don't have to be there. You don't have to be on this show. All you got to do is trust the calculator, and you'll never be on a show like this, ever. It will never happen. But as long as you don't understand, as long as you remain on the negative side of the economy, you guys will be forever abused. But you guys must also understand, it will be this way to the end of time because capitalism cannot exist without debt slaves. It can't. So it must be this way, okay? It will be forever this way.
And your total debt owed is $35,720.15. Which actually does not sound insane.
Right.
This is insane the way you've done it.
Right.
Your minimum payments on your debts are $1,000, but the amount that you spent on food going out to eat was $1,578.50 in a month.
Wow, $1,000 on takeout. Now, if you are, listen, come to the positive side. If you like to cook, if you know you're a great cook, you can cook great food, that's where you go. Debt slaves are, look, this is just one debt slave. This is just one. Create a successful business and the debt slaves will come.
Is that not insane?
Oh, yeah, it's insane. It's ridiculous.
It's aggressively insane. And all your bills and fees were $1,751. Overdraft fees $204. Subscriptions $175.
2 days. So
you're killing yourself. You guys are killing yourself. So what is very clear from my situation, this is a disaster. Credit cards need to be gone today. Like, it's not even an option. When you guys are home, are you guys on the same page relatively?
Yes. Yeah.
If you guys are, then burn them.
Yeah.
Have a ceremony. Burn them.
Yeah. All of them?
Every single credit card, all of them?
Yeah.
You can ask all of them after this, all of them?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He said all of them. You know what? I'm going to translate. He's not going to do it. Caleb, listen, Caleb knows this guy is not going to cut up his credit cards. He knows that, okay? but it's just for reaction. This guy is not going to do that. But that's a program. This young man has been programmed to believe he owns things with no money of his own. Okay, that's part of the negative side of the economy.
Eventually, but no, build credit. So every person is situation to situation. Your situation is Dave Ramsey is perfect for you. You know him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed. I'm with Caleb on that. If somebody wants to get just out of debt, Dave Ramsey has the perfect solution. Everything's in place. SMD is more like once you get to zero, then you come see me, right? Like say like this. Say like you own you have a mortgage, right? And you follow Dave Ramsey's plan, okay? Dave Ramsey gets you to the point, he says, hey, pay off all your debt until you get down to the mortgage and then start putting away 15% into retirement. This is where you stop with Dave Ramsey and you come to me, because if you have a mortgage, you can't put 15% into retirement because you don't have 15% of anything to put in retirement while you have a mortgage. Open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. That's how much, you see that large negative number? That's how much money you have to put into retirement. Now, if you want to understand what that means, that's when you come to SMD, because at that point, Dave Ramsey is trying to sell you some services. Hey, go see my Vesta Pros and they'll help you do this and that. Well, his Vesta Pros cannot break the laws of mathematics. Nobody can. Okay, that's called business.
Listen to Dave Ramsey.
He is perfect for you. Your debt is laid out in such a perfect way to follow his whole baby steps model. And he does the snowball method when it comes to paying off debt, which of course was invented like when money was invented. So he didn't invent that, but it's a part of his baby steps and it would work for you. I would probably
remember, debt slaves, you guys are the money. Money does no currency, nothing exists for you because it is you. For those of you that are new to the channel, I'm gonna help you understand. Okay, for those of you with car payments, all right, I want you to pretend you're holding a $20 bill in your hand, okay? And then I want you to open up the calculator. I want you to put in $20 minus your car payment and hit equal. According to the calculator, you don't have $20 in your hand. You don't. The calculator says you have a negative something, but definitely not 20. Now I'm gonna bring you to the door that exits the negative side of the economy to the positive side. Now, if you want to walk through the door, which is zero, you can trust the calculator, and at least the door will open for you. You can't walk through because you still got to pay off all your debt. You can open the door and look, but you have to. Which one do you believe? Do you believe you have $20 in your hand? If you believe you have $20 in your hand, you will stay on the negative side of the economy until you're dead, okay? But if you say, wait a minute, I don't have $20 in my hand, and then you get to open the door to see what it looks like on the positive side. You can't come through, okay? But you can look, because in order to walk through the door to the positive side, you must own yourself first. You can't go through without owning yourself, okay?
Probably modify his first one to meet your situation, and we will get your budget here in a bit, especially since you have a kid. It's a little more risky.
Yeah.
But if this wasn't already clear enough about how dire the situation is, I want to talk to you about the child aspect of this thing. You guys have zero retirement, barely anything in savings. Yes, you guys are below 30, but with where you guys are headed, with nothing in retirement and always in debt for the rest of your lives, that is irresponsible of a parent, because you are forcing your child to have to deal with you as a required expense later, instead of you sacrificing now, saying, okay, let's not live this extreme lifestyle we're living now. Let's take care of ourselves.
Agreed. What I'm gonna translate what Caleb's saying to this guy. He's gonna transfer this negative side economy, debt life to his children. That's what's gonna happen. And it's carried on generationally. That's how it is. So if he doesn't stop this, his kid is going to grow up thinking this is how the financial world works. Yes, it does, but that's the negative side of the economy, not the positive side. Okay.
And we will actually have money to set ourselves up for the rest of our lives eventually, when we're in our 60s.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
so that was the cheapest place we could find.
I guess it's small, so not a lot of options, right?
Yeah. Everything in Cedar Park was like 2,000 over. So
Cedar Park?
Yeah. We're from Liberty Hill originally. So Cedar Park is like kind of halfway between both of our jobs.
Oh, okay.
So
utilities, internet, renters insurance, all of that combined, best guess?
Probably about 300.
Gas between the both of you for cars?
I probably spend close to $100 in gas a week.
Okay. And her?
She spends a little bit less. Her car gets better gas mileage, but it's probably about 50 to 60. It's about an hour. It's about an hour drive for me to work, and about.
If you have a car payment, I want you guys to understand something, okay? And I always reiterate this, okay? If you have a car payment, it doesn't matter if it's gas or electricity. It really doesn't matter, but we're going to stick with gas at this moment. If you have a car payment, when you drive up to the pump and you see the price of gas, they're like the price of gas is $4.50. That's only the price for people who have cash to buy it. Like if I pull up to the pump, fill my tank up, and it's $4.50 a gallon, it's $4.50 a gallon for me because I don't have a car payment. Because if you have a car payment, that means you didn't have the money to buy the car, so you financed it. And if you don't have the money to buy the car, you don't have the money to buy the gas either. So for you, it's the price of gas plus your interest rate on your credit card. You got it? Plus the interest rate on your car and your credit card to purchase the gas. Okay. People that if you finance the electric car and you're listening to this, you're not saving money on gasoline. When you drive by a gas pump and you don't have to pull in there, or you looking at the gas price and you're like, woo, not me. Yes, that's you. Even though you're driving an electric car and you see the price of gas, that price you see on the pump, that is you. You're not saving money on a financed electric car. You're financing the electricity that goes into your electric car. All of that is you.
30 to 45 for her.
So an average of, oh my gosh, dude, that's something bad. That's good. Okay, so with the baby stuff, and yes, babies are expensive, but you don't have to go crazy. And a lot of people, I've looked at the baby budget breakdown. I know what can be spent on food and babies and stuff for a household. Mm-hmm. I think you can do about $500 for the household, maybe 600. We'll see.
Okay, Caleb obviously he clearly doesn't have kids. He's probably too young to be doing that, and I'm pretty sure he knows better to have kids at this particular age. So he's saying maybe $500. I hope the guy's not really listening to that part. That's not his field. So I hope he's not paying attention to that. I hope he thinks, Caleb, you're wrong.
Say 600 and hope to cut it to 500. Work, get everything. You're a dad. Take care of yourself so you're there for your kids' future.
Yeah.
Okay. And no, car washes are no longer in the budget. Restaurants are no longer in the budget. Steam purchases are no longer in the budget. And all that terrible with credit cards, but all of it added together is creating a balance with an income that you have that you can just bottom 4 and then kill your next 3, 2.5 to 3. You just keep going until the smallest credit card to the
okay, Caleb, let Dave Ramsey do his job. Okay, let's go.
The largest credit card is paid off, and then you kill the truck, and then
all right.
There's a way. You won't know you guys are not having fun and going out to eat.
Yeah.
And work extra hard. Do some Ubering in the new car or something like that. Some Uber Eats if you want in the end. Cut this down to a year instead of a year and a half.
Right.
I mean, as hard as you want to work, as quick as you will get out of this situation, yeah?
Right.
So, from there, what is critical, now you'll have $3,000, because the debt minimum monthly payments are gone, $3,272.
All right, we're kind of skim through this because you got to remember, Caleb is just talking he's saying things that really don't exist. I mean, he's telling them what to do, but just in a very quick, nonchalant way because he knows this guy's not going to do it. That's why he picked him. Okay, this guy's not going to remember or do. Even if Caleb is literally writing this down, printing it out, and hand it to him, He's really not going to do it. Okay, I can tell already.
A month. What I would allow.
Ooh, look at his face. He looks like he want to cry. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. He doesn't. He's paralyzed. It's like he's getting embarrassed. He's getting humiliated, and he's sitting there. I don't know if Caleb trapped him with a payment to come on the show. I'm not quite sure, but he's trapped. He doesn't know what to do.
Allow, if credit is super important at that time, what I would allow is like get you $100 gas card that you put one fill up on a month on there and pay it off every month and nothing more.
Just pay it off as soon as we get it.
But that still scares me. But if credit card is that important,
I'm not sure why Caleb said that to him. He can't handle any cards right now. Why do you think he would handle a gas credit card? I'm not quite sure why Caleb would recommend that. That baffles me a little bit.
if credit is that important to you, then do that in this later situation in
Right.
2 years.
Right.
But burn these cards now so you never spend on them. Remove them from all your virtual wallets. Anything. Destroy them, burn them, kill them. They do not exist because they're killing you and making it so that your finances do not exist.
Right.
Then you have so much money to work with. Let's say your income stays the same. If you're going to go on a vacation that costs twice that much, you don't have fun for 1 month, then you can spend double the next month. Anyway, that's fine.
Yeah.
That just makes you someone who's doing well.
Right.
Okay. So don't be ashamed of that. Don't get rushed into it. Once you get into the personal finance space, I get the lure of like, I want to pay rent. I want to have my mortgage going into my overall equity of my home.
Okay, let me make sure it's clear for those of you that believe you can buy a house with a mortgage. Okay, that is not true. You cannot purchase a house with a mortgage. Okay, rent is an expense. Mortgage is debt. The reason why you need a mortgage because you didn't have no money to buy it. It's 100. I want people to listen to this that come to the show loud now, later. It is 100% mathematically impossible to own the equity in a mortgaged house. 100%. You cannot do that. Cannot. So if you open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal, you see that large negative number that this calculator is displaying to you? The calculator is saying to you, you are the equity. If the calculator could talk, if your calculator could talk to you, this is what it's saying to you. You are the equity because I'm showing you a large negative number. You didn't have money to buy anything to own equity in anything.
And well, my home value goes up. It's a piece of property. It's great. You pass it to your kids eventually. I get it.
Right.
You do not have to rush into it. Put the overall boring grand scheme of your financial life, take that into account over rushing into something. Because if you just save up a little, do an FHA in this area, the minimum monthly payment on that would be beyond unaffordable for your income.
Right.
What?
Right.
Did he just offer a FHA?
Pass it to your kids eventually. I get it.
Right.
You do not have to rush into it. Put the overall boring grand scheme of your financial life, take that into account over rushing into something. Because if you just save up a little, do an FHA in this area, the minimum monthly payment on that would be beyond unaffordable.
Let me help you understand something about FHA mortgage. That's called a subprime mortgage, okay? FHA mortgages are for people that really, 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 quadruple really, quintuple really, don't really understand that you cannot buy a house with a mortgage. So they use FHA mortgages for you. That's for people that really, really, really don't know. So if you have an FHA mortgage, that means you're a debt slave. That's what that means. Subprime mortgages are for debt slaves that will not accept that they have absolutely no money to buy a house.
Affordable for your income.
Right. Right.
Even in the edge of suburbia, will still be beyond unaffordable, even if interest rates are good. So that's what I do. We do need, like I said, in 2 years, when you guys are 29, 20% is going to retirement. We'll just base it off the average stock market return instead of the average S&P 500.
Okay, Caleb's about to go into something that doesn't exist for debt slaves. The stock market is made up of you guys, debt slave. The stock market could not exist without you. So he's about to run some numbers. The S&P does this, S&P does this, 10% fatness. If you have a mortgage, don't worry about what Caleb's saying because you have no money to put in it. And if you believe that you can invest into the S&P or the stock market, that makes you the stock market because you have no money to put in it.
Return. I'm a slut for the S&P 500, and it does 10%, little over.
That's because Caleb has real money to put in it. That's why he's earning. If what he's saying is true, you got to remember, we don't know if Caleb what he's saying is true or not unless he shows us. Like even though I believe Caleb's probably personally debt free, but I wouldn't truly believe him until I see his personal credit report. I have to see that. Once I see Caleb's personal credit report, I will know for a fact that he knows. I will know for a fact that Caleb owns the business of Caleb. Okay.
Over 10% on average. Historically, stock market, it's like 8%. So we'll just do that. And we'll do.
This guy, listen, this young man, he doesn't even own himself. He doesn't even know about finances. He's not going to understand anything Caleb's about to tell him about the stock market. Okay.
What was it again? So 7,000, 20% dollars in today's money would stretch a lot if you didn't have any debts.
Right.
Now, of course, again, as incomes go up, your contribution amount will go up. So it's going to be like $75,000 in today's money. 100 over balances and negative balances on your checking account.
Still thrashing them
on screen. If you follow that, 2 years, fully funded emergency fund, no more debt.
He won't,
because we've done good we'll do good for like 1 or 2 months, and then something will come up or whatever. We went on vacation last year and pretty much just blew all the savings that we had. And
sorry, vacations.
He went on vacation with no money. Debt slaves finance vacation. They'll go on a 1-week vacation and pay on it for 2 years. You see what I'm saying? A debt slave will take a vacation, a 1-week vacation, and finance it for 2 years. Make payments on a 1-week vacation for 2 years. That's what debt slaves do.
It doesn't exist for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
It needs to be known.
Yeah.
Do you guys have close friends here, close family here?
Everybody. Yeah. Friends, family.
Be gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Not really.
He doesn't have any thoughts at all. He's a debt slave. He doesn't know. He's doing what he's been programmed to do, stay in debt. Now, if you're watching this video, you got to be honest with yourself. Is that you? Is that you? Are you in the same situation as this 27-year-old man? The only advantage, now I want you guys to, because I don't want to leave you with nothing. The only advantage that this man has is that he's 27. He can turn it around. He has time to turn it around. But you have a minimum of age between ages of 40 and 45 to wake up, to come to the positive side of the economy. That's like the bare minimum to wake up. After about 45, if you haven't come over or woken up and realized you're a debt slave, you're going to be in trouble. If you wake up at age 45 and you have about $150,000 in student loan debt and you have a job that's making $40,000 a year, you're going to be in trouble. If your student loans are older than your retirement plan, you don't have a retirement plan. There is no retirement plan. There is no retirement plan. It's you. You're the retirement plan. Without you, retirement plans couldn't exist. You're probably thinking, well, LJ, I get the match. I've been matching for the last 10 years and I have a mortgage. No, you haven't. According to who? You or math? If math says you can't contribute to a retirement plan to get a match, you can't do it. But if you believe you do, that makes you the retirement plan. It's you. Do you understand? You're the 401k. You're the match. You're the after tax, before tax. You're the insurance plan. Borrow from yourself. Be your own bank. All that stuff that people in debt tell you to do to get rich quick. You're receiving information from the negative side of the economy. When people tell you you own equity in a house and you can borrow against it so you can invest in other things, those are people from the negative side of the economy telling you that. According to the laws of mathematics, you cannot own anything with no money of your own. You can't. You have to have money to purchase it. You have to. There is no other way around it. But you got to remember there's nothing exists when it comes to money. There is absolutely nothing that exists outside the calculator except who? The bank. The banks are the only business that exists outside the calculator. They tell you yes when the calculator says no. If you say like this, say like you want a house and the house is 400,000, right? And you log into your bank account and you have only 20,000. The calculator says you're $380,000 short. You cannot buy the house. This is where the bank steps in. The bank says, yes, you can. And then they finance the house for you. But what you don't know is that they purchased you for the house. They didn't buy the house. The house, like if the bank bought a house and it had nobody in it, they don't make any money. You see what I'm saying? So what they do is use the house to get you on the hook for 30 years to pay for something that only takes a day to buy. It only takes 1 day to buy a house. It only takes 1 day to buy a car, not 84 months. It doesn't take 84 months to buy one car. It takes 1 day. The paperwork, make sure everything is doing the state taxes and this, and it takes about a day, whatever, right? It doesn't take 84 months plus interest and taxes and rolled over negative equity. All you got to do is understand that. All you got to do is just trust the calculator. And you're probably thinking, well, LJ, it's going to take me at least, this is what debt slaves usually say. Well, I'd rather get a 15-year mortgage than pay 15 years in rent. Well, there lies the problem. You think it takes 15 years to save up for one house? There's your problem. You believe this is all you got to do. This is what you got to do. If you think like that, you find a house that you think is in your price range, right? And then you divide that up over 15 years. What you're saying is this: I don't believe I can make that much money per year so it's going to take me that long to save up for one house. That's a psychological problem. If you don't think you can save up, put it this way, say like the house is 300,000 and you believe it will take you 15 years to save up for that house, you're saying that I don't believe I can make $300,000 within 15 years of my life. That's a problem. There lies the problem. That's the psychological problem. Between ages 30 and 40, those are the prime years. Sure is. Prime years for the banks to bring in debt slaves. Sure is. I think it starts at 18, honestly. Probably before that, they get them young. Just put the shit out there on social media. You got to remember, before kids are even 18, you got a whole bunch of debt slaves over the age of 18 showing the kids under 18 how to get rich. You got to remember, it starts early. As soon as they are knowledgeable and can comprehend social media, that's where debt slave grooming begins. Young people think money looks like something. Money's psychological. Money doesn't look like anything. It looks like when you have money, you can make it look like anything you want. Any questions? Now, if you're new to the channel, all of this is probably blowing your mind, something you never heard. It probably even makes you upset. But every time, if you're one of those people and you think, oh, he's full of crap and this and that, all you got to do is stop and ask yourself, but is his math right? Is what he's saying mathematically correct? If the answer is yes, which it is, that means I am correct. And there's nothing else that exists outside of the calculator, nothing. Mathematics is a proven fact before any of us were born that's listening to this video. And for the people 20 years from now that may be listening to this video, it's the same for you guys too. Math will never change. Math doesn't care about time. It doesn't matter if it's 2023 or if it's 2063. 1 plus 1 is going to equal 2. 5 minus 10 is going to equal -5. 100 years from now, 200 years from now, the answer is going to be the same. Okay? So don't pay rent for 5 to 10 years and you'll have the cash for the home. Now, I'm going to use this person as an example. Okay? This person is displaying what they're thinking in their brain to you guys. This is why they're saying that. I'm going to translate. Okay? So what do? Not pay rent for 5 to 10 years so I can save? Because I guess if that's what you believe, it takes you 5 to 10 years of paying no rent to buy a home. I guess that's what you believe. That's a belief. Okay? I don't know where you can go to not pay rent. I don't know where that is, but if you find it, let me know. But what you're doing is you're displaying what's in your brain. You're displaying what's programmed inside your mind. LJ, you should continue these reviews. Caleb isn't breaking it down the way. No, he can't. I mean, he doesn't. I don't think he understands what S&D does. He does it good, but I know why and how he's doing it. But it's obviously successful what he's doing. And the amount of time you save up the cash, doesn't your cash devalue? Isn't your 400,000 you saved in 8 years worth less? It is whatever you believe it is, Thug. Okay, because you believe. Okay, by the way you're talking, Thug, you are obviously in debt. And that's nothing against you. I'm just saying you're speaking like a person who's in debt. The cash devalue, isn't it going to be worth more or less in 8 years? I don't know. It really doesn't matter because I know you guys are the money. You're the cash. Cash, the physical cash that you guys see, it doesn't exist for you. You guys have no money because it's you. The value is you. So put it this way, Thug. If you guys knew you could not buy a house with a mortgage, the housing market wouldn't exist. So since the majority of people believe they can buy houses with mortgages, those people are called the housing market. Without you, the housing market could not exist. Once I turned 18 in the mail, I got a military form and joined. Yep. A credit card. I remember got the military thing, but I didn't get no credit card thing. SPIV. If you make enough money, 5 to 10 years is more than enough to buy a home. Only takes minutes to buy, not years, for sure. That is good. It just confusing me by the way you're talking. I'm reading a couple of your things. I was ignoring a couple, but I'm like, oh, it's really your house and your name's on the deed. I'm just here to tell you, that's how a debt slave speaks. You have no money to buy the house, but since your name is on the responsibility, your name on a deed or a promissory note, that shows that you are responsible for the mortgage, for the debt. It tells the bank and the financial system who is responsible for this mortgage loan. Your name is on it. That's the purpose of that. So they know who's responsible for the debt, not the house. Okay? The house belongs to the bank. The house is used to get you. Like, here's the psychological part in capitalism. If you believe it takes 30 to 40 years to pay off one house in your lifetime, that you're in the psychological part. Obviously, there's a psychological problem because that's not true. You don't say like the house is 400,000 and you signed up for a 30-year loan. You don't believe you'll make $400,000 in 30 years? That's a problem. The hardest part is deciding the location for a house. When you're debt free, it could be anywhere you want. That's the easy part. I know if if I had enough money to live where I want to live, I know exactly where I want to live. It's not really that big of a deal. It's not really that hard because taxes or house when you're debt free, taxes or housing prices no longer are concerned to you because you could just look into your bank account and know exactly where you can live. You just check your bank account and say, "Oh, I can afford to live there. Cool." If I if I can't afford to live where I want to live, I stay where I currently live until I save up enough money to purchase a house to where I want to live. When you guys see nice areas, this is this is what I want you to do. If you know some people that live in a nice area or a nice part of town where you live, where you want to live, you go to their house and ask them, do they have a mortgage? If the answer is yes, that's why they're there because they have a mortgage. They couldn't afford to buy it there. They could afford to finance there. They don't own that house. Just think about it. The bank is the landlord. They don't have to cut the grass, fix nothing. They don't even have to pay the taxes on the house. The person in the house does it all for them. And then when you lose your job or get a divorce or something hiccup happens in your finances, guess what? They kick you out and start the process all over again. That's called business. A debt slave can stay in a house for 10 years, lose their job or something happened. They're like, oh my God, the bank kicked me out of my house. They didn't kick you out of your house. They kicked you out of their house because you're not making payments anymore. Doesn't doesn't your money devalue sitting in your bank account? First, you got to determine if you have money in the bank account. Because you got to remember, debt slaves have no money. It doesn't matter if they have a banking or a checking or savings account. All you got to do is this. If you have a car payment, not you, Doug, but if you have a car payment, maybe you got a car payment. All you got to do is open up your calculator, put in your car payment minus your car balance and hit equal. That's how much money you have in your savings account, your bank account. Car payment minus car balance equals equals your checking account balance, equals your savings account balance, equals the money that you invested into stocks, cryptocurrency. That's what that is. Just imagine what would happen if the society stopped getting mortgages. I believe the prices of houses would drop. Well, QJC, that will never happen in our lifetime, ever. And I don't even want that to happen. I don't want that. Listen, I don't want debt slaves to know that you can't buy a house with a mortgage. And you're probably asking yourself, well, LJ, you're saying it out loud right now. They can't hear me. Debt slaves have no idea what I'm saying. Why? Because it's against the laws of mathematics for them to understand a word that I'm saying. The $400,000 home this year isn't the same as a $400,000 home by next year. Okay, if that's what you believe, I guess I don't know. It really it and I want you to understand something, Thug. Unless you have $400,000, don't worry about what the value of the house is for or whatever. Right? It really doesn't matter. People that have cash, put it this way: people that have cash for homes, they don't pay. They don't usually pay the asking price of a house. Only people that finance houses do. Okay. But these are great questions, Thug. I do appreciate you, man. I really do. But I could tell you're still on the negative side by the questions you asking. You're still on the negative side. You're still thinking that the value of houses and put it this way: the prices of houses are determined by the bank. Why? Because debt slaves have to go to the bank to ask permission to buy the house. So the banks set the housing prices. So recently, like, let me give an example. Recently, they were like, hey, The president said, if you have a great credit score, they're going to charge you more for a mortgage. And then if you have a less credit score, they're going to charge you less. And the people are up and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe the president is doing this. And they're making, all you got to do is not finance the house and you won't have to worry about any of that. Just don't finance it. If that's true, I know you can't really go by how it's said, but if, let's say like that's true. They said, hey, if you got a 780 credit score, they're going to charge you more money to finance a house. All you got to do is say, then I'm not going to finance a house because I'm not going to pay more for the house than what it's worth. That's what I would do. The only people that care about mortgage interest rates are people who have mortgages. You don't have to have a mortgage. You don't. That's a program. I remember Glendon Cameron saying that if you do pay cash for a home, then the bank will want to know where you got the money from and take you through the ringer. Well, if you're buying it from the bank, I guess, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, the bank has to, if they own the house, I'm pretty sure they're required by the IRS to say, if this person purchases this house from me in cash, we need to know where the money came from. That's not a problem. Just show the IRS. Put it this way: if I went to purchase a house for $400,000, the bank, the IRS, and the bank will already know where the money came from, because when you're on the positive side of the economy, you participate in the economy correctly. You're not hiding anything from anybody. Exactly. No comparison at all. That's true. That's why banks require appraisal to determine the value of the home. All right, well, I'm going to wrap this up because I got something to do at 1. Oh, shout out to T. Sonnen. Excellent live today, LJ. Awesome message. Nothing but the truth served up here. Thank you, sir. Good friend of mine. We used to work together. He's still doing that work thingy stuff, that stuff you got to, hey, can I have this day off? And great friend of mine. We just had breakfast a couple days ago too. Great friend of mine. But thank you again, Mr. Sonnen. Much appreciated. See, he has, Tyler Sonnen is an SMD family member who is also financially free, debt free. So that's a real $100. So first he hands it to me. YouTube gets their cut of the real $100, and then I get the rest. But anyway, thank you everybody for participating today. Shout out to Nick Penn, SMD family member, for guiding me through, calling me up, helping me do things more productively and properly to get the message out there, to get more people to come to the channel and watch. Much appreciated. Shout out to Nick Penn. Thank you, sir. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. All right, until next time. Later.